Hello everyone, welcome to a new video. This one is actually a flip through. I have finished my Springfield album. I meant to show more of the back half of the album, but I started working on it last night and everything was just clicking and it went and I ended up finishing what was left. So you're just gonna get a flip through. So where I started is on my Airbnb. So this was the last page I had done. This is where I picked up. So this is inside. It was so cute and cozy, bigger than what I needed really. Like 2 or 3 people probably could have stayed in there. But you know what? I'm not going to knock it. I had lots of space for myself. So I have my bedroom, cozy little living room. I actually didn't use the living room that much. I spent most of my time kind of in the kitchen dining area and then in the bedroom, and this cute bathroom setup that they had, like bold colors. And I quite enjoy that. I feel like it fit what they were going for. And then just put together with some pattern paper here, a little strip of vellum, and I actually have a stamp that says Airbnb, so I was able to use it. So that night I ordered pizza from a place I had noticed when I was in town, had it delivered, and this thing was so huge and so good. I ate it for 3 meals. I ate it that night for dinner. I ate it for breakfast in the morning, and I ate it again for dinner the next night. So it was definitely worth what I paid. So I wanted to showcase that because I just kind of did it on a whim from seeing it. I had no idea if it was good or not, but it worked out that it was. And so here I am the next morning getting up, and I wanted to go to the Lincoln Tomb first thing because it's not in the center of town like all the other Lincoln things. It's out a ways, and so I knew that I wasn't gonna be able to walk there. And Uber and Lyft, like, they operate in Springfield, but they're not a huge thing. Sometimes it can be hard to get one, as I discovered on my last day when I was leaving. And so here I decided, okay, they have a good bus system, I'll take the bus, and it worked out great. It was really easy to figure out. So if you're going to Springfield and you want to go there, take the bus. So here's the park where I got off. And so you kind of walk through part of the park and then you come upon the cemetery as you kind of go down this hill, but you can approach it from another way as well. I saw there was more than one bus line that could get you there. So this is just the way that I did it. But if you find another way that works for you, great. So I walked in and I kind of actually ended up from that entrance point, I ended up approaching the tomb from the back, which I didn't realize or know until I got there. But it was kind of cool that way because then when you come around the front and that's all revealed, it's almost like a bigger surprise kind of to witness that. So I don't mind that this is the way that it worked out. And here I just did minimal embellishments with some journaling. And then these are along the street, like on the drive and stuff, as you come up to the cemetery, if you approach it from the main entrance. So if you're coming from that way, you will see those. But then this is the front view. And then they have a plaque of the entire Gettysburg Address. And so I wanted to showcase that because that's one of the things he's most famous for. And so I have minimal embellishments here too, just a little star, a little plus sign, some washi that I added. Nothing too crazy, but I think it works for the theme that I was going for here. So these photos are just showcasing more of different parts of the grave monument for Lincoln. And I didn't think about it when I left that day. I was wearing a bright pink shirt. That doesn't really go with the color theme of what's happening in a lot of these photos. But, oh well. I just wore what I thought would be comfortable because I knew it was going to be really hot. So I wore that. So I did feel like I had to add in a little pink somewhere or it was a little too shocking. So I just added this little word or phrase embellishment here and thought like, okay, that's probably enough because I don't want to overwhelm the rest of this. And then here, close up of the bust that is in front of the monument. You can see it there. And apparently his nose is rubbed off like that because it's good luck to rub it or something. If you're a superstitious kind of person, I did not do it, but that's why it looks like that. And then there's a gift shop like a block and a half away when you exit the cemetery. It's not actually on the premise, or if there was, I didn't go into it, but I found this one about a block and a half away, and they had a ton of Lincoln themed things in there. So I bought a couple postcards and I included one here, and I didn't put an attacher on it because it would have made it too wide. So I just punched holes right in it and included it. And then I used the back to move on to my next stop in town, which was Lincoln's home. So I really enjoy doing that, where if I have something that's an insert like this, that I can use the back of it as a layout, because it cuts down needing another page protector to make another layout. And as we know, my albums tend to get pretty thick as it is, so I want to use whatever surface I can to cut down on adding extra pages. And then over here, I just took a picture of the sign when you enter. This is actually part of a National Historic Site. And I kind of researched it before I went, but not a whole lot. I assumed there was a fee, so I was ready to like pay whatever. It's actually free. You just have to get a ticket. You sign up, they give you a ticket, and I kept mine right here because I wanted to scrap it. So I just put it on this 3x8 card, and then I actually have a stamp that says History and Heritage Museum. So I stamped that on there in the blank space that I had. So I milled around in the gift shop for a little while waiting for my tour to start, and it actually has a movie that you watch all together with your tour guide first. Then they take you out to the home. So here's the house, and then I did a close-up shot, and I wanted it enlarged, so I did a 6x8, cut it in half, and I have the flip out. And this is the only embellishment I added because honestly, I don't think it needed anything else. So then on the back of this is their living quarters downstairs in the house, writing desk. I love it. And really, I just did some phrases here. That's it. It didn't require a whole lot. Kind of self-explanatory. Same with this. This is upstairs now, but these are where their bedrooms are and where they did, a lot of taking care of the kids and that kind of stuff. So I have that. And then this was actually taken from a speech he gave when he was leaving Springfield to go to the White House, about how sad he was to be leaving his city. So I thought that was quite poignant, and so I wanted to include that. And then I just did this background card and added some phrases and an acetate star, which worked out really well. So I had to build my own card, but it was easy. So after that, it was kind of getting a little past lunchtime. It was a little bit later, so I was hangry and I had to find a place for lunch. And I have a flip up here about that. It's actually right down the street from Lincoln's home. It's called Obed and Isaac's, and really cute place, fun on the inside. Lots of different rooms where they can seat you. And where I was, there were only 2 other people seated in there, so it was quite quiet. And I think that it was a little after the main lunch hour helped. So good service. I just had a wrap with some fries, but it was excellent. So that was my main meal in town that day, because I ate dinner at home. And then it was off to the Capitol. So I took just this little slice to have on the front of this flip, and then this is the inside, a full view of the front of the Capitol, and it is magnificent. It actually is the largest dome for a state capitol in the United States. So here you can see the inside. It's quite beautiful, quite ornate, lots of filigree, and it's very extra, we'll say that. And so here I just actually cut this photo a little bit smaller, so there'd be a gap there. And I put washi behind it in just a simple gold stripe, because look at everything that's happening here. And I just used those little phrases from my historical set, and it worked great. The colors matched because it was kind of very neutral, and even this dark red felt like a neutral because of the design. So it worked out great. And this was continuing through. This tour was only supposed to be an hour. We actually went an hour and a half. Our guy was like, you know what? We don't have another one after you right away. So if you want to stay longer, I'll tell you more. And everybody chose to. So I actually missed the tour of the governor's mansion. I was supposed to do it after this because I wouldn't have gotten there in time because this ran over, and I'm totally good with it. It was worth it to me. But you can see just all the artwork, the beautiful ceilings. Everything was beautiful in there. And over here, I had this card. I needed kind of a break for the eye because this is a lot to take in. So I chose this one because there was a lot of white space in there. Just added a tag with a simple saying, some thin washi, called it good. This layout is another flip out, and it kind of shows you on the back side looking up at the dome there. But if you flip it out, look at that. You get a super perspective view looking up, and I love it. And I just took more shots on the different doors and angles because there are wings off the main central area. And I think we explored 3 out of 4. I think there was one that they asked us not to go down, and I can't remember why, but we got most of them. So I have lots of extras kind of from those little side places. And again, just did simple phrases and some washi to highlight. For this, I just wanted to really get like this beautiful ceiling. It was amazing. And this was it was a chamber room. I want to say, I don't think it was a courtroom. I think maybe it was just like a gathering room if they have events at the Capitol. But look at that beautiful, beautiful ceiling. And then I did a close-up here. This was a 3x8 card, and I cut it down to a 3x6 so that it would fit in there. And then I did some sequins. I have figured out what was up with my fuse tool. I've been able to get it working again, and so I added some sequins. Here's the back side of that. Because I had so many layouts in a row that were super photo heavy, I decided to pick a very light background and just do journaling on this side. And so that's what I went with here. Another little phrase, nothing too crazy, but I like that it gives the eye a break and we look at something a little bit lighter and different. This is just another kind of unique view looking up at the Capitol once I was done and had come outside again. So not a whole lot there. I printed it as a 4x8 and then cut it down to a 3x8 and then just stuck on the sticker. And then I didn't scrap anything from that evening because really all I did was go back to my Airbnb and just work and like hang out and chill for the rest of the night. And my train left relatively early in the morning. So it's kind of skips to where I'm on the train. So this is on the train ride back and just talking about I had upgraded to a family bedroom, which is the biggest room you can get on an Amtrak train that has a sleeper. And I only did it because it was so cheap. Normally they're like 3 times what I paid. I got it for $245. I knew that I would never probably see that again, nor would I need a family bedroom in most cases. So I thought, all right, for that low price, I'm going to do it just to have the experience once. And just to let you know, the advantage to having a family bedroom is that it spans the width of the train. It's the last room on the train. So you get windows on both sides and you have the entire width of the train as your room. Totally worth it to have that experience. So I wanted to talk about that. And then because I had a sleeper room, my meals were included. So I got this huge lunch as part of this as I was making my way back to Chicago. So I wanted to scrap about that as well. And then the only downside to this trip was, yes, I had this wonderful room, but our train ran several hours late due to various circumstances. So it caused me to miss my connection in Chicago. So I ended up sitting in the lounge here for several hours, which I did not intend. I mean, I got home eventually, but that was not in the plan. So it was kind of forced relaxation that I had to sit there for those extra hours, but at least I got to enjoy the lounge. So, there's that. So on here, I just wanted to liven it up a little bit because it's kind of boring. The lounge is beautiful, but this shot right here, kind of boring. So I put some patterned washi that I thought was pretty on there. And I just chose the thing that says, oh, snap, because, yep, had to spend a few extra hours there that were not planned. But it all worked out okay in the end. And now the album is done. So I hope you've enjoyed watching me put this together. And I hope you'll come back to watch me do more. Thanks for watching.